Welcome to today's webinar where I will show you how to get bookers that have booked with OTAs, that's your Airbnbs of this world, and get them to become your direct guests, people who book direct on your own website. Airbnb and Booking.com and all the rest of those OTAs are great for attracting new guests, and it's a perfect way for you to get people into your own funnel. So how are we going to approach this presentation today, this webinar? We're going to talk about the OTA problem. We're going to go through how you capture leads, how you nurture them. That's how you start a conversation, how you convert them to direct bookings. Then the real secret sauce, how to get them to love you and love what you represent. And I'll show you a tool that makes everything so simple and easy. And then afterwards, we can go into some questions and answers. So first of all, let's look at the scope of this problem. OTAs charge a lot of money for your guests, and it's not a bad bargain. They do a lot of marketing and they have their fees to cover as well, but it's less than ideal for you to be renting guests from OTAs because you'll never have a sustainable business and never be fully in control of what you're doing. The math is clear. Now, beyond the fees and hidden costs, you have rising costs of Airbnb. I mean, they change their cost structure whenever they feel like it, and it throws people out of whack. You don't have any data on your guests, so you don't know how to make your property better, or you don't know how to actually have a sustainable returning guest situation. You have the risk of being shadow banned by the platform if there's like algorithm change that you weren't up to date with, and just generally a bad situation of being dependent on their algorithm. So the direct booking opportunity is now better than it ever has been. A lot of people want to book direct. 34% in the US are already booking direct. 67% say booking on a brand site is easier. And there are other benefits here, which we'll get to the meat of the matter. Now, the 5 steps to your direct booking funnel goes with lead capture. And by the way, a funnel is a way to capture leads that's interest from your ideal guests, and to then develop a dialogue with them, and then from there convert them into bookers. And then, of course, once they become bookers, you have to deliver on a great experience, and then from there you help them to become your net promoters, people who will go out there and actually spread the word about your property, encourage your friends, and then return as well, which makes them much more valuable than just a regular booker. So this is the ideal situation that you're looking for, and the OTA channels can be a source of at the top of the funnel. And in this presentation, we're going to go over how they can become an effective source at the top of the funnel. So capturing your guests' data and their information is important, but there's a problem. The OTAs are making it difficult for you to do that because of their terms of service. They really don't want you to share your email address with them through their platform, the guests through their platform, and they don't want you to own the guest relationship at all. So they make it difficult for you to do that at every stage. So here's some methods as to how you can actually capture their email and telephone number using Wi-Fi splash pages at your property. So once they get to your property, to get into the Wi-Fi, they have to enter their email and then opt into to get marketing emails from you, etc. And that's a very effective way. And there's a tool called StayFi that actually helps you to accomplish that. And I think it's a very good tool to use. There are other ways where you can put QR codes at the property, so you can have a useful information, a guest book or something of that kind published with your QR codes on it. You can even have QR codes for your social media so that people know where to find you online, your social media presence. And that was also a way of helping you to connect and get into the funnel down the line. But with your QR codes, you can give them some valuable information and then say that there's further incentives, discounts, coupons. Maybe you can have a partnership with a local restaurant or something where you incentivize them to use the QR code to give them something valuable, like a insider guide or a 20% off at the favorite somewhere, the restaurant or attraction or something like that, in return for their email, right? You have to be creative about that, right? This is not really going about those. This is not a webinar that goes into that, but QR codes are effective. Digital guidebooks. That's a way to build trust and have that insider type information that's necessary for you to give them a curated experience. And once you give them the digital guidebook, you can also capture their email through that method. Post-day surveys, you can send to them after they've checked out, surveys which have a component of a lead of a form. So that can be, you can give them an incentive to fill out that with a promise of a discount in future, and also letting them know that you are actually interested in getting more information about their stay so you can make future stays better for future guests as well as themselves. So when you capture data from your home about the guests, you get more leads than just the primary booker, because the persons who are staying at your property, they'll all, you have an opportunity to get like 4 or 5 email addresses instead of the one that's the main booker. So you have a chance to actually spread the relationship, or spread out your chances of getting a relationship with the other bookers or the other members of the party that are staying, right? So nurture. I mean, people do business with people they like and trust, and in order to do that, to be able to be somebody who is likable and trustworthy, you need to nurture a relationship with your guest, right? So that's why you have to get them on your email list. It's critical to get them on your email list. It's non-negotiable, really. Aside from email, I mean, SMS and WhatsApp is incredibly good at with conversion. That means the amount of people who read SMSs and WhatsApp actually is higher than emails. So that's incredibly good. So if you can get their email address as well as their SMS, that's powerful. But getting their phone number is not as hard as getting their email, because typically when somebody is staying at your property, their phone number is important. They want you to have their phone number, or at least they want to have your phone number so that they can get in touch with you directly in case there's any pressing need. So there's a reason where you can get that information. And of course, through that interaction, you can ask for permission to stay in touch with them, and also to get them to provide you with an email through those discussions. And I'll show you later some of the ways that you could do that. But just to tease you on that, using one of the tools that I'm going to recommend to you later, you can actually automate that process with AI, right? But email marketing delivers a high rate of return. So it's estimated that for every dollar you spend on email marketing, you can earn $36 to $53 on every guest in hospitality. And that's incredible return. So building an email list, and also having an email list that is in a CRM, which is robust and has all the information about the guest, that will help you to tailor emails and conversations with them that are relevant to them, is critical, right? So once they leave, you want to be engaged with them. You want to immediately send them a message which shows your appreciation, and an offer that hopefully they can't refuse, where you entice them to rebook. So you get them a flash rebook offer, maybe 10 hours after they've checked out. And then so you're giving them something in advance of asking them for a review. So you actually have sweetened the whole experience for them by expressing appreciation and giving them something for free, right? And then 24 hours to 40 hours later, then you give a thank you and a review request. And then the direct booking discount, you go ahead and then give them what is really the entry point to a loyalty program with a direct booking discount and a flexible cancellation clause to it, so that you give them a sort of VIP most favored status. And what if the guest was a bad guest? Well, there are ways we can mitigate against that with the rules that I'm going to show you that we in automations, right? And down the line, we want to re-engage them with news about local events and seasonal content. In some cases, you want to include them on a monthly newsletter so they kept up to date. A lot of these guests, they care about the destination. They wouldn't have been there at your property in the first place without that. So that's important. And then an anniversary reminder. And even if you get their birthday information, just send a greeting on their birthday and just keep you top of mind with them so that you are liked and also you are considered when they are looking for a place to stay or even recommend to their friends. So email and SMS are both good to use strategically in keeping in touch. And if you look at both sides here, you can see that SMS is actually much more effective. But both can be used effectively, and both should be used effectively. Everything depends on your strategy, and yeah, we have the tools. There are tools that can accomplish a full communication and nurture sequence using both tools, using both communication methods. So driving direct bookings, to sell the experience of the booking direct, it's not just a discount. Just think of direct booking as a avenue towards a more personal experience rather than them going through OTAs, Airbnb and booking.com, which are, generic, massive platforms. If they book with you, what kind of personal touch can they expect? What kinds of perks, aside from the obvious discount, but what kind of belonging can they feel by being a part of your direct booking system, your direct booking ecosystem, right? So think about it like that, and you can think of trying to sell them the whole direct booking experience as more of a personalized, local, curated experience, which it can be because you have control of it and you have the potential to give them a much more robust experience than what they would get through Airbnb, because you have the capacity to actually communicate with them in a way that's not restricted by Airbnb, and also offer them things which are outside of what Airbnb platform usually allows you to offer. So your direct booking website, I guess the direct booking website. So once they are ready to book with you directly, you have to be careful about the things that how you set up your direct booking website, because there are a lot of direct booking websites that I've seen out there that are really not good at converting at all, and there are a lot of critical things that you need to include, like a mobile responsive design. People tend to look at the web, the version on their laptop and think that that's it, but really most people book with their mobile device. Making sure that your book now is prominent above the fold, above the top. As soon as people enter your website, they see it. The calendar is synced. There's trust signals at the top. You have transparent pricing, secure PayPal arrangements, and also a badge to show that you have secure payments. You're optimized for SEO, so people, when they search and they find you, they know that what you're offering is relevant to what they're looking for. The perks that you can offer through direct booking are flexible cancellations, early and late checkout opportunities, curated welcome packages, local experiences, best rate guarantees, loyalty rewards, and a discount. But don't think of the discount as your default. Think of the discount as a sweetener, but in some cases, a discount, like for luxury guests, discounts are not really the driving factor. So when the guest arrives at your property, the real work starts, because that's where the proof of the pudding really is. How well can you deliver on the promise and ensure that the story that you're telling is something that the guest is experiencing for real, and that you're able to delight them, and the knock-on effect of them becoming an advocate of your property is achieved, right? So you have to make sure that you go over and above. And I see these things where people talk about unreasonable hospitality and stuff. This doesn't mean going and bending over backwards and doing whatever the guest says and just trying to be all things to all people, because that will never get you any loyalty and following. What does get you loyalty and following is when you tell a story about an experience that you're creating and lean into your strengths and deliver on what you promised. Not on just trying to be, all things to all people, but trying to deliver or even over deliver on what you promised. So if your property is good at a particular thing, usually it's a feeling or a outcome, a transformation that the guest is trying to achieve, whether it's bonding with their family or it's achieving some kind of peace of mind and tranquility, or being closer to local life at the destination or culinary or whatever it is. You have to be zeroed in, dialed in on achieving that and making that happen for them. Otherwise, you won't get the loyalty and support of your guests that you are looking for, and that will drive this whole process further. Because it's like, we talk about funnels, but this is kind of like a flywheel also, where once you deliver, there's a virtuous circle of referrals and repeat bookings and these happy guests being net promoters of your property, right? So 91% of customers willing to give referrals, but only 11% asked, right? So what kind of referral program do you have? Right? It's critical to have a referral program because that will help you to amplify your offering and get in front of like-minded guests. The guests that you've fought so hard to earn, they have peers who also would probably benefit from what you offer. And you need to incentivize your happy guests in getting the message out there. So you want to make sure that you show up where it matters, the pre-arrival stages, in-stay, the wow moments, maybe little personal touches, handwritten notes, review automation, which you need to ask for reviews. So automate. It's hard for property managers and hosts to ask for every single review, but there's ways to automate that. And that should be done because you need to get those reviews. You need to get a lot of reviews in order to establish yourself credibly out there and to have strong SEO that comes from the review sources as well, and gets you further exposed to other people. Having a referral program, and for example, having one where you give them $50 when they make a referral, and the person who gets the referral, they get $50 of booking credit. And so it's a double-sided reward system, right? And that can increase your bookings up to 20% by doing that simple thing, right? User-generated content. You want to make sure that people are aware of your social media. Instagram is very effective for hospitality. And so having QR codes in your home and incentivizing your guests to actually tag you in their stories and in their reels, is incredibly powerful, because it will help to get you, it's free marketing, basically. It will help to get you out there and get you in front of like-minded individuals and people with similar profiles that are probably within the bracket of your ideal guest, right? And then also make sure you have a loyalty program. Not every guest is equal, in the sense that some guests, because they will come back over and over, or guests who've been have stayed with you before, they are guests that you want to treat special. And so you have to have different levels of rewards, right? So that's important. Now, we've gone through a lot of ways to create your funnel and to optimize them, but how do we do this with all the various tools out there? And it's almost impossible to do all this just with a spreadsheet and with a pencil and paper. You have to, you're probably juggling a lot of different tools right now, but what we have found to be the most effective platform for rentals in sales and marketing is Go High Level. Go High Level is an incredible sales and marketing engine that includes CRMs, email, SMS, funnels, AI automation, reviews, calendars, payments. It's incredible. There's 12 plus separate tools. Go High Level integrates into your property management system. Some property management systems are trying to offer marketing modules within them with CRM and that kind of thing, but they're nowhere near as robust as Go High Level. And the Go High Level just keeps adding new modules and features and stuff, which, it's a huge community for Go High Level out there of marketers, pro marketers. And I think it's incredibly fitting for rentals and hotels and stuff to use Go High Level. So for Go High Level, you can use lead forms, surveys, exit pop-ups, AI chatbot that you can embed right into your website to capture leads, because that's another thing. When you have a presence on an OTA site, people will tend to look for you. They'll search around and try to look for your reputation off the OTA site as well. That's very common. So if you have a name on your OTA site that matches a name on, say, Google, and people go and find your website, you have the potential to actually capture their lead information by having pop-ups and an AI chatbot on your website already, right? And that's possible with Go High Level. You can even have voice AI agents for phone inquiries. So you can have your own virtual phone number, and the number can be set up so that people can contact you through the phone number, and a very natural sounding AI voice agent can talk on your behalf and actually do the sale and get bookings for you, working 24/7, incredibly powerful. Same thing with the chatbot on the site, right? Referring people to your social media and so forth, and sensitive to the stage of the booking funnel that they're in. So in order to nurture, there's email, there's SMS, workflows, incredibly robust drip campaigns so that you don't get flagged for spamming, segmentation, very robust content AI. So you have AI that can help you to make content, schedule them and stuff. Funnels, which are special landing pages. And I don't want you to confuse that with a web page, because a website is a marketing tool, but a funnel is a sales machine. A funnel is a funnel in the sense of a landing page. Funnel is where you make a specific offer for a specific type of guest with a specific intent, and they go through that funnel, and it automatically qualifies them and nurtures them towards a booking, right? So it's like a 24/7 sales rep working for you, right? And all these things can be embedded with calendars and Stripe and all those things, right? Which are all available in Go High Level. So once the guest gets to the property, it's all on you now. You have to make sure that they're happy, and also using automations, you can create the architecture in your guest experience with Go High Level that can give them the right information at the right time to give them access to your destination in a meaningful way, and also to maintain that dialogue with them, and hopefully have them allow you to get their contact information that you can use to continue the dialogue and to keep them in your ecosystem and make them a direct booking guest, a loyal guest that will keep coming back. And then critically, when they leave, how do you make sure to up the rates in which they respond with reviews? All that can be automated, and also with a Google Business Profile connected and whole reputation management ecosystem, we can get all those reviews together and put them on a widget on your website from Google Business Profile. We can send review requests. We can send automated reviews for the bookers as well, so you don't have to spend all that time doing it yourself. It's literally your go-to. It does everything that you need in your marketing and sales. So let's give you an example of how one would look with Go High Level, right? You trigger the person. There's a trigger that says the person checked out, and so this is your automation. It waits 2 hours, sends an SMS, and then emails thanking them, and then there's a logical line on which everything can go on depending on answers yes or no, and then waits, so everything can be automated for you right off the bat, straight after the person leaves, right? Let's look at what you can save, like with tools that you typically would use. On the left-hand side here, you can be spending upwards of $400 to over $1,000 a month, right? Easily. Look at that. And then with the type of plan, you can get the Go High Level plan as low as $100, but this is the type of plan I would recommend for most property managers. The $300 plan, which will give you everything, right? And you can get everything there for just $300 a month, and it's unlimited users, unlimited everything, right? Incredible value. So proof that really works. Look at this here. There's operators who have seen 68% increases in direct bookings, or actually are up to 68% in direct bookings. There's also a Google Ads and Meta Ads feature in Go High Level, so you can manage all your stuff through that as well. So incredible evidence here of how this tool can really boost your direct bookings. And a realistic timeline would give you, starting over the first few months, you can move up to a high level of direct bookings just through maximizing what you currently have. And then once you start growing your email list, it will keep moving forward. And then the brand recognition and the referrals and the compounding of returns keeps growing after that. So it's an incredibly profitable investment for you to make, right? So your action plan would be to install a Wi-Fi StayFi. We'd recommend, we're going to put a link in the description below. Set up your Go High Level. Also a link in the description below. You can use any CRM or comparable tool if you want, but I challenge you to check it out, and you'll not find a better tool than Go High Level. There's a link in the description below. We will be able to help you for free. The link is an affiliate link, full disclosure, and the reason why we're able to help you for free is because we get something from Go High Level on the back end for signing you up. But we wouldn't recommend this if we didn't use it ourselves. It's already something that we use day to day, and you can do the math. You can check the reviews and everything. It stacks up, I promise you. You can build your post-checkout email, SMS workflows, launch or optimize your direct booking website, create your direct book value proposition. All these things, we have a snapshot, which is a format which you can get from us that makes everything, the setup, like 5 times faster and easier. So we will help you get set up with that as well, and you can start with the free trial. So stop renting your guests, start owning your business. Every email that you capture is potential to have a solid lifetime value from the guests that you get through OTAs. People that will come back again and again and stop. You don't want a situation where a person comes back and every time they come back, you're losing 15% to OTAs, or they just get enticed by another property, because OTAs always recommend other properties. When you start, they're looking for yours, they'll recommend other properties. So if you want to get started, then contact us. But you can, and we also have a community. I'll leave the link in the description below for the community, which will help you with free resources. And also, if you have any questions you want a demo, contact us directly as well. So I hope that you've enjoyed this presentation. We've run out of time, and we don't really have any time for Q&A right now, but we'll take some questions afterwards in the chat. So my name is David Scott. I'm the founder of STR Booster. I have helped STRs all over the world increase their direct bookings, and excited to have shared this groundbreaking information with you today. And I hope to see you in the next webinar.